Unitarian Congregation of Taos, a theologically diverse, liberal, religious community open to all who are in accord with our values of equality, compassion, and the free and responsible search for truth and meaning. Our national association has welcomed us into full membership in the Unitarian Universalist Association, and we share this commitment. Our covenant is to engage with each other with respect, compassion, and generosity in all our endeavors. Before we begin, I'd like to ask you to please silence your cell phone if you have not already done so. Thank you to Yvonne Lewis for providing flowers for the service. It looks like there may have been some other little fairies that brought things. There are a lot of flowers up here and pagan eggs. So. You can check out the schedule for flowers on the table in the back if you would like to bring them for a future service.
Sorry.
We like to meet our visitors, so if you are visiting us and you are comfortable doing so, please stand. Brian will bring you a mic. Then you can introduce yourself, telling us where you are from and how you came to be with us this morning. Rachel will bring you a mic.
Any visitors who want to see that?
My name is Amy Schaefer. I go by May, and this is my partner LJ. We've been coming for a while, but I haven't met the majority of you, so hello.
My name is Rand Baker, and I'm visiting from Seattle, Washington, and I have been a Unitarian since I was born.
I guess that sounds kind of opposite.
Well, thank you and welcome to our community. Please join us for refreshments and conversation after the service. Informational materials are on the large table. Board members with green name tags will answer any questions. And if you'll leave your email address on the clipboard on the table, we'll stay in touch with you sparingly about future services and activities. Reverend Diana Davies will lead our service this morning, and Rachel Cohen and Brian Lewis are handling technical duties. There are two announcements. One is a personal one of mine. I suffered a phishing scam, and it's an invitation, and you click on the invitation, and it doesn't open. So then I tried too many ways. I thought, oh, you're smart enough to open this. And the next thing I knew, at least a dozen people have received this email with my name on it, so they somehow got into my contacts. So be very careful with those invitations. And if you got that email from me, I'm so sorry.
What was it in invitation? What was it in?
Well, we just don't know because you can't open it.
I got one from Friends in Maine, same thing.
From Friends in Maine, yeah. Well, the one I got was from my cousin in Colorado. So I don't know. I'm sorry.
It asks you to download it. Don't receive an invitation that you have to download a file and then open the file. So it's very strange if you see that kind of.
Thank you for that information. In April, our book group will be reading and discussing Patriot, which is a memoir by Alexei Alexei Navalny began writing Patriot shortly after his near-fatal poisoning in 2020. This book is the full story of his life, his youth in the USSR, his political awakening, his activism, his beloved and fiercely supportive wife and family, his total commitment to challenging a superpower determined to silence him and suppress democracy, his enduring love of Russia and its people, and his final years in prison. Patriot is Alexei Navalny's final letter to the world, an unforgettable document written by a man of profound integrity and unyielding courage. The book group will discuss this selection at Somos on April 23rd at 10:30. If you haven't started reading it, do, because all are welcome. And now Martha Grossman will offer a prelude.
Welcome. In your courage and in your fear, in your joy and in your heartbreak, in your exhaustion and your energy, in all that you are, all you have been, and all you are becoming, you are welcome here today. If you're joining us for the first time, I'm Reverend Diana Davies, and my pronouns are she, her. This is a sacred time for many. Jews are commemorating the Israelites' flight from Egypt with Passover. Many Christians celebrate Easter today, for many the most sacred day on the Christian liturgical calendar. The Muslim holy season of Ramadan ended a little over 2 weeks ago, on the same day that many pagans celebrated Ostara, and all of us experienced the spring equinox. Our opening reading honors all these sacred manifestations of freedom, liberation, birth, and rebirth. You'll find the reading in the hymnal toward the back. It's number 534, Gloria. And I'll just say, as you're looking for that it seems particularly important now to honor the many different faiths, many different beautiful faiths in our country at a time when our president is mocking Allah tweets, and Catholics are not allowed to attend Easter service.
What?
From our defense guy. It's especially important that we honor all faiths. It's number 534, and I will read the upstanding words, and I invite you to read the words in italics. Gloria,
The tenacity of earth and its creatures,
Kyrie eleison,
these children who will go on to say what we cannot.
Baruch atah Adonai, Home. Alleluia. Shalom. Nam myoho renge kyo. Amen. Alleluia. Amen. 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 Please rise in body or in spirit for the lighting of our chalice. The words are printed in your order of service. We light our flaming chalice to illuminate the world we seek. In the search for truth, may we be just. In the search for justice, may we be loving. And in loving, may we find peace. Remaining as you are, let's sing our song for gathering. It's also printed in your order of service in English and in Spanish. One way we acknowledge the interconnected web that joins us as a community is to share both the special joys that touch our hearts and the sorrows that bring us pain. If you have a joy or sorrow that you would like to share, we invite you to come forward, choose a stone, share your thoughts, and place the stone in the basin of water.
I have one joy. Today is my birthday, Easter Sunday. So that happens periodically, not every year.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Julia. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you. My second joy is that our dear friend Gail Minton is moving to a lovely home that she loves in Maine. My sorrow is that Carol Minton is moving to her life. And we are going to miss her terribly. So thank you, Gail, for being such a wonderful congregant here with us at UCOT, and we will miss you. That's our today.
I didn't know you were going to say that, Julian. So I didn't know I was the one to follow. It is a joy to be here with you this morning after that amazing April 1st storm.
Yay!
So it has been a joy to live 26 years in northern New Mexico with you and many others, beginning with the Native Plant Society and the Archaeology Society and their meetings and trips, which Ty and I just devoured. We loved them. Then going on to irrigating with the Sequia del Monte, trying not to flood out our house as it was being built, and being so involved with the acequias locally and in the state, and certainly our children visiting here and our grandchildren love this place. So it is tearing in many ways. What else did I want to say? Oh, certainly one of the biggest things for me was cross-country skiing starting in 2002 in the Enchanted Forest and in the Brazos, climbing high country peaks, and I can't really read what I wrote. Chamber music year-round, how can I forget that? Unbelievable that I didn't know that was going to be here. And certainly being a part of UCOT from the earliest days to the present. Thank you all for your friendship, and I hope you thrive and UCOT will thrive. And I have a note on the back table if you'd like to take one, and these yellow and red flowers will be in a bucket. Take them all. I don't need to take them home.
Good morning, everyone. Adjust that a little bit. There we go. So this is a concern. I have a young friend who's, I think, 23, and he has just acquired sole custody of his 3-year-old daughter because the mother, now ex-wife, was found guilty of severe drug addiction. So he's struggling, and so I'm throwing out this invitation. If anyone in the congregation knows of someone selling a very inexpensive vehicle, around $10,000 or so, please let me know. And if anyone knows of very affordable housing, he's going through the system to see if he can access any services, but if anyone knows of a small casita or something where it would be welcoming to this young man and his daughter, again, please let me know.
I'm Reed Brundage. This is my second service here. I came to 2 discussion groups. A quick joy, having lived in Mexico for 16 years before suddenly moving here, I'm very glad that the second time you sing the hymn, it's in Spanish. I feel at home when I'm singing in Spanish much more than I'm speaking English. Also, the woman who spoke here just moment ago about living here for some 50-some years or something and knowing all about it. Since I'm trying to orient myself to what is this place, I want to meet you. And I'm looking to meet people who can tell me about what is this place called New Mexico, having grown up in the East Coast. Thank you.
Would you like to drop us? I think I'll put a white stone in for him. I have joy. All week, every morning I go out and I look at our trees and I study them and like looking for a little bud here and there and I just don't think I've enjoyed the spring quite so much in such detail anyway. I'm feeling a little bit like Georgia O'Keeffe. Okay. And this stone will represent all the unspoken joys and sorrows that are among us today.
We have two readings today. The first is from the Christian Scriptures, the book of John, chapter 20, verses 11 through 16. In the text, these verses come after Jesus' crucifixion and death. His friend, Mary Magdalene, has come to visit his tomb early in the morning while it's still dark. To her horror, she finds that the stone in front of the tomb has been rolled away. When she reports this to the disciples, they discover that the body is missing. This is what happens next. I'm using the translation by David Bentley Hart. But Mary stood outside by the tomb weeping. As she was weeping then, she bent down into the tomb and sees two angels in white sitting there, one at the head and one at the feet of where the body of Jesus had lain. And they say to her, "Madam, why are you weeping?" And she says to them, "They took away my Lord, and I do not know where they put him." Saying these things, she turned back around and sees Jesus standing there, and did not know that it was Jesus. Jesus says to her, "Madam, why are you weeping? Whom do you seek?" And she, thinking that he is the gardener, says to him, "My Lord, if you have carried him off, tell me where you put him, and I will take him away." And Jesus says to her, "Mary." And turning, she says to him in Hebrew, "Rabboni," which means teacher. The second reading is by E.E. Cummings, the great American poet and the son of a prominent Unitarian minister. I thank you, God, for most this amazing day, for the leaping greenly spirits of trees and a blue true dream of sky, and for everything which is natural, which is infinite, which is yes. I who have died am alive again today, and this is the sun's birthday. This is the birthday of life, of love and wings, and of the gay great happening illimitably earth. How should tasting, touching, hearing, seeing, breathing, any lifted from the no of all nothing, human merely being, doubt unimaginable you? Now the ears of my ears awake, and now the eyes of my eyes are opened. So Joanna Macy an environmental activist and one of the great teachers of our time, who passed away just last year, led a workshop for many years on climate grief and on earth justice called The Work That Connects, or Reconnects. This is a modified version of a meditation that she often led for many years as a part of that workshop. So I invite you to join me in a spirit of meditation, taking a comfortable seat, whatever that means for you. Relax your body as fully as you can. Feel your breathing in your lungs, the abdomen. The oxygen ignites each cell, stirs it awake as it burns in the metabolism of life. Extend your awareness deep within to feel this energy. It is all around you too, sustaining all the bodies in this room, weaving us into the web of life. Imagine you can see interlacing currents like threads of light. See how they connect us and extend beyond this room, this moment. Experience the great multiplicity of strands formed by countless relationships, woven of the work and food, the laughter and tears you shared with others. They shape what you are. They hold you in place. Sense those interwoven threads. Rest into them. Back through time, this web extends. Mothers, fathers, great-grandmothers, great-grandfathers. The web extends back through countless generations, through numberless ancestors we share, all the way back to those with gills and wings. For it is of star stuff evolving that we are all made in the flowing of time. We are each a jewel in this vast net that called us into being. Each of us an irreplaceable gem, sparkling with awareness, reflecting the world. Sound of gull crying over the sea, sight of mountain rising, colors of sunrise, scents of pine and loam, the excitement of a new idea, the melody of a half-forgotten song. There is pain, too, coming in along the strands of this web. A friend with cancer, a Palestinian mother, a Ukrainian mother, an Iranian mother, mothers around the world weeping for their lost children. An immigrant child weeping for his missing parents. Do not shut them out. They live in the web of this planet time. Open to these sorrows. Breathe them in. If we block the pain, we block the joy as well. There is power in the flowing of this fluid net. Love that has enriched us. Love that we give. Through that vast network, all forms arose, intelligence arose, open to it all, unafraid, relaxed, alert. We are the universe, knowing itself. I invite you to take one more deep breath. Let it go. and slowly and gently coming back into this space and time. It's the first day of the week following the crucifixion of Jesus. Very early in the morning, one of Jesus's most devoted and courageous followers, Mary Magdalene, goes to visit the tomb where he is buried. Now, this is a bold move on her part because her dear friend had been labeled a criminal and a traitor, and to be associated with him would have been very dangerous. All his closest male friends were busy hiding out for just that reason. But Mary goes to the tomb because she wants to take care of the body of this man that she loved. The tomb is in a garden, probably not a very well-kept garden, given that an executed criminal has been buried there. Anyway, as Mary Magdalene approaches the tomb, she's horrified to see that it's been opened, and the corpse is nowhere to be found. She jumps to the conclusion that someone must have stolen his body. Heartbroken, she leans against the opening of the tomb and she sobs when suddenly she hears a voice saying, "Why are you crying?" She turns around and sees a person who she assumes is the gardener and tells him what has happened. Only then does the person say her name, Mary, and she recognizes her friend and her teacher. In the 15th and 16th centuries, this little story of mistaken identity was a favorite subject for European artists, who often took it literally and painted Jesus as a gardener. In some paintings, he holds gardening tools or he wears a floppy gardener's hat. In a painting by Rembrandt, there is no indication that he is anything but a gardener, dressed fully in gardener's clothing, carrying a shovel and a trowel. Symbolically, the gardener imagery is meant to indicate that Jesus is a gardener of souls, or that his resurrection is the equivalent of a new Eden. But beyond the religious message, there's something else, something beautiful going on in the story and in these paintings. A weeping woman, a person who has lost her loved one, not once but twice, meets a gentle gardener who asks her, "Why are you crying?" Who better to meet in a place of death than a person who is all about life? And that's the Easter story that I want to tell today. It's not that I want to be dismissive of the story that Christians tell, a beautiful tale of miraculous resurrection that is their ultimate source of hope and the cornerstone of their faith. I just want to tell a different story. Not one in which nature in the form of a garden is used as a metaphor for something spiritual, but a story about nature itself that sees the garden itself, life itself, as a miracle. After all, as French philosopher Voltaire once said, it is not more surprising to be born twice than once. Everything in nature is resurrection. So why would Mary Magdalene assume that the first person that she would see in the garden would be the gardener? Why would a gardener come to the garden at the crack of dawn? Well, to water his plants, of course, before the sun becomes too hot. For the plants, that water is the difference between life and death. Or rather, for a plant, water is life. You probably saw it after that April 1st storm. All of the plants just had so much joy and green. But what is this magical elixir after all? Well, a reductionist would say that it's just H2O, 2 hydrogen atoms attached to 1 oxygen atom, but that's just a water molecule. It's not water per se, it's not liquid. Liquid water only comes into being when a whole bunch of these molecules come together in a particular way. If they slow down a lot, all the molecules take the form of ice. And if they are really in a hurry, moving around so much they can't connect at all, they take the form of steam. So depending on how the different molecules are relating to each other, we might get water that flows and takes the form of its container, or we might get hard ice that can float. Add more factors, more relationships, and the same water molecules become the component parts of a snowflake or a hurricane. At each stage, from atoms to molecules, from molecules to water, from water to cloud, from cloud to tornado, something completely new emerges that wasn't designed or planned. It's almost as if something has come out of nothing. It's that something more from nothing but that is called emergence. Examples of emergence are all around us. Let's imagine that we're there in that garden outside Jerusalem where a body has gone missing, and a sad woman is now talking with a man who she thinks is the gardener. Zoom in on the picture, and you might see an ant colony over in the corner. The whole colony is going along, feeding itself, defending itself. Some ants die, others are born, and the whole thing just keeps going. There's not one super smart ant orchestrating the whole thing. Just many individual ants, each doing their ant thing in relationship with one another. Yet the colony is more powerful and more sustainable than all the individual ants could ever imagine. That's emergence. Maybe Mary Magdalene looks up to see a flock of birds flying in perfect formation overhead. They're flying in such an organized shape that it seems someone must have planned it. But it's just a bunch of individual birds, each following their own set of rules. 1, fly in the same direction as the other guys. 2, don't get too close or too far away from my neighbor birds. And 3, avoid predators while you're at it. From these simple rules, amazing patterns spontaneously emerge that seem to take on a life of their own. Zoom in even closer and go inside Mary's brain, where around 86 billion neurons or nerve cells are interacting with each other. They're just neurons. There aren't sadness cells making her sad, or worry cells leading her to worry about what happened to the body of her friend. Things like sadness and worry emerge from the interactions of neurons. Some scientists believe that consciousness itself arises from these interactions. Emergence again. Something more from nothing but. Life from non-life. And let's look more closely at that mysterious gardener. Has he in fact been resurrected from the dead? The short answer is yes. After all, his body is composed of about 36 trillion cells. They're constantly aging, decaying, and being replaced by new ones. So his cells at that moment aren't exactly the same ones that made up his body just a few years before. In some ways, then, he's a new person. person, reborn. But he's also the same person because he's more than just the totality of a bunch of cells. He is the unique result of an unimaginable number of relationships over time with his environment, his experiences, his interactions with countless beings and people, and with his own potential. Well, some will say that by telling the story in this way, the story about a distraught woman meeting a kind gardener outside a tomb early one morning, I've reduced it to science. By removing the element of divine intervention, I've stripped it of miracle and mystery. But I believe that the life that emerges in this story, life that appears without instruction or plan, life that emerges as something more from nothing, but is all the sweeter and more precious because it exists just because it exists. In the words of biologist and religious naturalist Ursula Goodenough, quote, "I once again revert to my covenant with mystery and respond to the emergence of life with outrageous celebration that it occurred at all. I take the concept of miracle and I use it not as a manifestation of divine intervention, but as the astonishing property of emergence. Life does generate something more from nothing but, over and over again. And each emergence, even though fully explainable by chemistry, is nonetheless miraculous." Ultimately, the story I've told is a story of relationships, as are all stories, as is all of life. As theologian Monica Coleman puts it, quote, "We are constituted by our relationships. We cannot be who we are without being shaped by things beyond ourselves. There is nothing outside of these relations. Relationality is not a choice, it is. Relationships are not just the glue that holds the world together. Relationships compose the world. They are the world." Atoms interacting with one another to form molecules, molecules interacting with one another to form cells, and on to organisms, minds, societies, and at each level, in each interaction, something more emerges, as if by magic or miracle. Flowers and trees, ants and birds, a sun rising on a new day, a garden, a woman crying, and a gardener. The gardener calls the woman by her name, and she smiles. He reaches out to wipe a tear from her face. In that tear, there is water. In that water, there is life. In that tear, there is everything that is needed to make a whole new world.
Today's offering will be received in appreciation of our shared hopes and values. Thank you. Please stand if you are able to sing hymn number 61, Lo, the Earth Awakes Again.
And I just wanted to note that the words are by Samuel Longfellow, who was a Unitarian minister and the younger brother of the great American poet Henry Wadsworth. Thank you for this day, made of wind and rain and sun and the scent of old-fashioned lilacs. Thank you for the pond and the slippery tadpole and the wild iris that opened beside the pond last week, so pale, so nearly purple, their stems already flagged and bent. Thank you for the yellow morels hiding in the field grass, the ones we can only see when we are already on our knees. And thank you for the humming that rises out of the morning, as if mornings are simply reasons to hum. What a gift, this being alive, this chance to encounter the world. What a gift, this being a witness to spring. Spring in everything. Spring in the way that we greet each other. Spring in the way the golden eagle takes to the thermals and spirals up to where we can barely see the great span of its wings. Spring in the words we have known since our births, like glory, like celebrate. Please join me in saying the words as we extinguish our chalice flame. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Blessings of sunlight, earth, and water to you. Blessings of birdsong and green sprouting plants to you. Blessings of rain to you. Blessings of spring to you. blessings of emergent life to and in you. Thank you so much.
Join us in the back. We have some wonderful cakes and coffee, and take your time to give Gail one last hug.